All right, guys, so we're gonna start. Let's move on the next one. So our goal for today is to understand the use and application of integers by using number line and real life scenarios. So, but before that, I would like you to answer this question. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Want to write a little reflection, a sentence, not much, right? Just one little reflection of what does Charles Darwin mean about this? 30 seconds? All right. So you guys could write something about it. So a man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. You need to put your headphones in. What happened? All right. So I'd like to share. Somebody's raising. Selena, go ahead, please.
Uh, I think this guy might mean that time is valuable and you shouldn't waste time doing something that aren't worth like wasting time for.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. Omar, go ahead.
I agree, but then it's like don't waste your time and use it wisely. Like you don't know how fast time and life is going. It's like if you're not gonna, if you don't know what you're doing in like an hour, you're basically wasting your time. You gotta be a man and know like what how you to use your time.
Okay, so the value of time. Tiffany?
I also agree, and yeah, like just don't waste time. Like you can do so many things in an hour, a day, or a week, and if you don't waste, and if you do waste the valuable time, you like don't know that you don't appreciate it and know the importance of it.
Correct. I totally agree with you guys. One more share. Aiden?
He means that if you waste, everybody has to do something, and if you waste time, there's no meaning to it.
All right. Thank you guys for your share. Like there's one student this morning shares says well, there are times I just sit down because I'm tired. I really like feel that I need to sit for a while. Is that a waste of time? What she did?
No,
So,
well, I mean you get tired, so you're taking a break and then do something in that break that's smart, but that's not tiring.
correct. So, I totally agree with you. I told her that it's not a waste of time. You're gaining your strength. You're taking your energy back. So that's not waste of time. You need to rest. Our body needs rest. Annie, one last share.
I would just like to comment on what I'd like to add on to what Omar said
Go ahead.
because like how time is fast, it's also important to get good rest because life also goes very fast. There's a lot of very big events that could trigger some time could just exhaust people and they just need to get away from it.
Correct. That's why we need vacation, right? We need a break. Yeah, but that is very true. So it depends actually on how you use your time. All right.
Talking about vacation, when is our when February break coming?
February on the 12th, we don't have school, and then we'll come
Okay.
back the following week. Is it nice, right? I'm so excited. All right, with that said, let's move to our topic. So I would like you to try to work on write the opposite of the following in your own words. What do you think are the opposite words of this? You
I have a
get
question. Deposit, is it talking about money type deposit,
yep.
or is it okay?
Well, what do you think it is, Omar? I know what
I
you're
don't know.
thinking.
I don't know. There could be something else that's called deposit that I don't know of.
Let's talk about money. All right, go ahead, guys. 1 minute. While you're doing that, I just make sure that I have SAVVAS ready.
Opposites.
All right. So give me a word that is opposite of up. I'm gonna try to ask somebody else that haven't shared. Wow, I have a lot of raised hand. Let's say Ayman. Opposite of up.
Down.
Opposite of left, Bunny. Bunny. Opposite of left.
Right.
All right, Briar. Opposite of add.
Subtract.
Okay, sure. Opposite of more. Sure.
Less.
I say more. More. Oh, less, you said. I thought you said left. Himandi, opposite of below.
Above.
And Jin, opposite of deposit.
Does deposit mean take out?
No. And
I completely forgot what it meant.
oh, anybody?
Christmas has.
Selena, what is it?
Me. I want.
Okay, go.
Withdraw.
Withdraw. Opposite of gain.
Lose.
Okay, so you know what? Not just the words that you've shared, but there are a lot of words that could actually mean the opposite of the other one. So here we did not see the word higher, below or above, withdraw or lose. And here we subtract, we withdraw. Let's see some words that were not shared. Like everybody, so left to the right. So you guys have exactly the same word. So more or less. So at least these are the words that we're going here subtract or these are the words that we might encounter later on that represents a number. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So here again, still the same word, but this time I want you to represent it with a number. So let's look at this one. Match the phrase that represents each word. So I want you to match them in which one it goes with which. 1 minute. All right, let's look at your work. So left I have, but you have extra. You're gonna say that's left, right? Gain, I added 5 pounds. Ugh, that was me. So let's see over here. Up, you go 3 blocks to the north. Left, you're going to the west. Add more. You guys are good in this one. So let's say about here. Left more. And gain, keep working. Why is only one? Come on, let's go. Keep working. So gain, you add more pounds, more I have extra. Below is freezing, that's correct. Here, F to the north, add. All right, freezing, that was good. All right, it looks like you guys have an idea, but you just have to make it faster when you work on it. Okay, all right, so make a smaller pen next time so that you don't like overload the space. All right, so it looks like you guys have a great idea. I'm gonna stop and I move to the next. All right.
Wait, not done yet. My pen was malfunctioning. Can you put on student place?
It's okay. I'm gonna open it later so you could continue. Don't worry about it. It's just like information right now. All right, so integer is a whole number. It's a kind of number, but it's a whole number. And it's a set of negative, non-negative, or a positive number, or a zero. Or simply you could say an integer is a whole number that is zero, positive number, and negative numbers. Again, it's a whole number. It could not be fraction, it could not be decimal. But it could be negative, it could be zero, and it could be positive. Let's look at the examples of what SAVVAS is saying. Right? Let's look at the video. Let's make it bigger. Play it.
What are integers? Think about this question during the lesson. The counting numbers, their opposites, and 0 are integers. Numbers that are located on opposite sides of 0 and are the same distance from 0 on a number line are opposites. You can extend a number line to include negative numbers. What integer is the opposite of 6? To answer this question, first consider the following. Why do you think it is important to include negative integers in our number system?
Can someone answer that for us? Why is it important to include negative integers in our number system? Selena, you're raising your hand, or that was the hand still raised before?
Yes. I think we should include negative integers in our number system so that we can represent numbers below 0.
That's a very good answer. Very good point. Anybody else have an idea? What else? Let's see what SAVVAS said.
Negative integers are used to represent situations less than 0, like temperatures below 0. What is unique about 0?
So let's answer that one. What is unique about 0 at this point of time, like in this example? Tiffany?
It's not positive or negative.
Very nice. Omar, do you have some points to add to that?
Oh yeah, it's not positive or negative. It's in the middle of the number line. So basically, if 0, if you add 1, then it's going to be a whole number. If you subtract 1, it's going to be a negative.
All right, let's look about that.
0 is neither negative nor positive. It is its own opposite. Here is one way to think about the opposite of 6. A thermometer is like a vertical number line that uses integers to show temperatures measured in degrees. 0 represents 0 degrees Celsius. 6 degrees Celsius is 6 degrees Celsius warmer than 0 degrees Celsius. Negative 6 degrees Celsius is 6 degrees Celsius colder than 0 degrees Celsius. The integer negative 6 is the opposite of 6. If the opposite of 6 is negative 6, what is the opposite of negative 7?
Select your answer.
Anybody?
7.
Omar said 7. Kevin, do you agree to that?
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
All right, so we all agree. Let's see if we are correct.
What is the distance from 0 to negative 7 on the thermometer? What is the distance from 0 to 7 on the thermometer? What can you conclude about the two distances from 0? The distance from 0 to -7 on the thermometer is 7 units. The distance from 0 to 7 on the thermometer is 7 units. The distances from 0 to a number and from 0 to its opposite are equal.
Do you have question to that part?
No.
All right, let's move ahead.
Here is another way to think about the opposite of 6. The opposite of a number is the number itself. For example, the opposite of the number 6 is -6, and the opposite of -6 is 6. You can write this as -6 equals 6.
So it tells us that the opposite of 6 is -6, and the other opposite of -6 is +6. That's why the opposite of the opposite. All right. So let's go back to our period deck. Go back to your period deck. We'll look at this. I want you to answer this one. So Riley recorded the temperature of 5 days in January. So which day was the coldest day of Riley's data? Which was the warmest day? Write the temperature from the least to the greatest. Go ahead, guys. Just right now. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Wait, you have to do that mark on the number line thing?
No, that's the mark that tells you where the number belongs. So, okay. All right. This is supposed to be draggable if you are in SAVVAS, but it's not. So just write the numbers on this like thinking bubbles. 30 seconds. All right, let me look at your work. Let me like sneak peek. So you got that correct over there. While I'm browsing this, can someone tell me how did you know that which one goes to the towards the end of the number line to the left side, and which one goes towards the right side of the number line? How will you know? How did you know that that is correct? Oh, you've got that right, actually. Jin, how will you know which one goes to the left, which one goes to the right?
Well, you can look at the negative line next to it.
All right, Selena, would you like to add something about it?
Yes, because negative is lower than 0, and then like the higher the negative, it's like the smallest one.
So is that what you're telling me, that this is -5 is smaller than -2?
Yeah.
So we could prove that later on, right? Like later on we could prove that how come that is smaller than
It's called logic.
Is it called logic, or anybody else have idea how come you know that -5 is smaller than -2? Anyone can...
Because on a normal number, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we see that 5 is greater than 2. So in negatives, you're gonna see that 5 is still greater than 2. But it has, because 5 is less, because it's like how do like.
I'll help you. What is your reference number to know how far is it? What is that reference number you tell that you should know that that is there, and that tells me that that's the number I have to look for? It's a reference number that tells you, oh, this is like lower, this is like bigger or higher.
0?
The 0. So your reference number is 0. The farther it goes to the left, the lower the value. The farther it goes to the right, the higher the value. Did you remember that elementary school?
Oh wait, in negatives, if it's like 0, -5, then -5 is less than -2, or is it greater than -2?
Can anybody tell me the answer for that one? Omar has a question. Is -5 greater than -2? Sandy?
Yes.
Tiffany? All right, so let's clarify that before we leave. I don't want you to get hanging on that idea. So 0 is the reference number. The farther you go to the left, the lower the value. The farther you go to the right, the higher the value. So with that said, Omar, is -5
It's
bigger
less. It's
than
less.
-2? So it's less. The farther it goes to the left, that's why it's negative. Like it's like 5 steps away from your house to the left. So it's like
Oh, okay.
far, right? To the 0, but it's on the left side and it's on the right side. Though it
Okay.
has
So
the same
the
distance, later on we're gonna learn absolute value, but right now it's really -5. It's just like you, which one is but it says more, that's why it's absolute value. I'm not gonna talk about like how much about money because it's gonna be this different. This was just a distance, all right? And later on, distance make it positive when we do absolute value. But -5 is farther from 0. So the farther it is to the left again, the lesser the value. The farther it is to the right, the higher the value. All right, let's move to the next one. So let's try to do this quick. Remember? So if I have a loss of 5 years, it represents -5. If 9 degrees below 0, that represents -19. A profit of $400. Profit, we could write plus 400 or just 400. Without the positive sign, it means it's positive. You don't need to write the positive, but you could. I didn't say that you cannot. A debt of $250 represents -250. 100 feet below the sea level represents -100. So go as much as you can. You don't have. If time's up, then that's it. 30 seconds. There are 15 people in the peer deck answering question. So half of you are missing. Come on guys, let's go. Keep moving. 10 seconds. All right, let's look at our answers. So let me start from the top. I'm just gonna call. Aiden, what is your answer for a decrease of 18 degrees?
-18.
All right, Andy, next one, increase of 20 students. Andy? I'll come back to you. Annie, what is your answer for the increase of 20 students?
20.
Okay. Ayman, a gain of 56 yards. Ayman.
Yes.
A gain of 56 yards. What will it be in integer?
56.
All right. So, Bonnie, is strokes, 8 strokes under par. What will that be? Bonnie? I'll skip Briar.
-8.
-8. Human Z, 32 degrees above 0.
32.
All right, sure. A profit of 10.
10.
Safa, a gain of 45 yards.
45.
Let's see. Jen, 12 degrees above 0.
12 degrees above 0, 12.
All right, so you guys have an idea how it is. So that those are the numbers we are representing. Okay. So by negative and a positive integers.
Wait, for a
Perfect.
debit of 300, does that mean like negative 300? Because
Yeah.
a debit you like owe it.
The debit is like oh, it's a debt, not debit, right?
Okay.
But anyway, the debit is also debit and credit. It depends on how you use them, right? Debit
So
because you're
is it a
taking it
negative 300?
the negative 300, that's correct. The debit on the other hand is taking your money out. Credit is also the same. Well, it depends on how you use it. If you use credit card, use credit. So actually, you're owing money to the bank. Debit means you're taking money from your bank, so it's all negatives. But sometimes it depends on how you use them in a sentence or in a problem. So
Miss Kankor,
you guys are good. Yes.
what does under par mean?
Oh, you know when you play golf.
Golf?
I don't in like golf.
Yeah, you play golf. I don't even know how to play
Yeah,
golf, but I heard
par is
that.
how many times a normal person can like get the ball into the hole. Like how many times? Like
Yeah,
if the person doesn't mess up, how many times they're supposed to hit it to get in the hole?
correct. You play did you play
No,
golf? But you know the idea, right? I heard this all
I
the
just
time.
know that I
So I think we
watched the
need to
movie.
learn more game terms. All right, so let's move to the next one. So here we go. I want you, do I have time to do this one? So let's go. Let's work on this one. Order each set of integers. Like order them from least to the greatest.
Least the greatest, right?
Yes, from lowest to the highest.
Okay.
All right, let's look at your work. That is correct. Oh, you're just starting. Negative 16. Remember what we said before? Um, the the farther you go to the negative side, the lower the value. So that's how you work on this. Yes, that's right. We did this elementary school, so we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. Yep. Just be careful. Sometimes you mix up with the negative and the positive. You put it in the wrong side.
I didn't do it in elementary school actually.
Really? I
Yeah, I
thought
didn't do it.
I heard you guys been arranging numbers. Oh, because this is negative. You never learn negative numbers in elementary school.
Yeah, but it's really simple.
But this is simple too. All right, so we look good. So I'm gonna move forward. Next one. Oh, this is easy. Find the opposite. Go ahead. This one is only 30 seconds. I'm really gonna time. 30 seconds. Let's go. 10 seconds. All right, there you go. So let's just talk about this one. Who else I haven't called? Michael, what is the opposite of 10? Mike?
-10.
Yes. Kevin, what is the opposite of -3?
3.
All right. Korea, what's the opposite of -30? Korea? All right. Cian, go ahead.
30.
Yes. The opposite of 22? Ayman?
-22.
-22. That's correct. Or you could say -22. All right. Thank you very much for that. Moving forward, those who were not able to answer, I'll open this so you could work on it later. Here we
Yeah,
go.
okay.
It's fine. I'm gonna open it student mode, so the remainder of the time you could work on it. Here we go. Mark said that the opposite of the number is the number itself. So I want you to prove by using the number line of what Mark said. Let's look at what Mark is talking about. Go ahead. 30 seconds again. Five seconds. All right, let me look at the answers of some. So you say, with this one, you need to put a dot. But I understand that you want to say 4 and then 4. So the opposite of 4 is -4 and the opposite of -4 is 4. It goes back to the original number. That's very right. So it's negative and -1 equals 1. You guys have really different representation. So that 6 and the negative go back to the blue one. Very nice. You're very creative, people, to represent how it is. Very cool. See? But this one will not show me. It's the opposite of the opposite. This one will just show me the opposite of each other. It doesn't show the opposite of the opposite. So you really have to say go back. You really have to like move like going back. Like this. Going through and going back. This one will just say the opposite and the yellow one will say going back. Perfect. So guys, you're good. So this is open. All right, so you could work on your own to complete whatever your missing page. But today's homework, you're gonna work on let's exercise 1 and 2. In exercise 1, there's the second page. If you go back to the SAVVAS, here it's the page 2. This one, all right. And on exercise 2, it's the same. We usually do that, right? So only the page 2. It means you're doing 2 questions. Exercise 1, the last question. Exercise 2, the first 2 we did it together, and then the last page you do it. Somebody's raising hand. Who is that? Oh, there are a lot of you. Who's asking questions? Safa, you're asking question? Omar and Himanzi? Or you just forgot to turn it down? All right, so we have only 1 minute left for the class. So if you have no questions, I'm giving you a permission to leave. But make sure you complete your pure deck. It's graded classwork. And your homework is exercise 1, question 2, exercise 2, question 3.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you guys back tomorrow, okay? All right, bye-bye.
Bye.